Hello, we're here today at Dublin Roasters, and I would love to introduce you to an amazing business and owner of that business,
Oh,
Serina.
Thank you for having me at my store. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I've been in business for 25 years. I started in 2000, roasting coffee out of like a little warehouse that I had on my property on Dublin Road, which is how I got the name. I was still an active police officer, and I was struggling to get really good coffee because I needed coffee so I could stay awake for night shift, and because I'm not a morning person, and I already said that. I'm the only coffee shop owner that is not a morning person. But, like I said, it started kind of organically. So I was roasting coffee after hours, and I realized that roasting coffee was just extremely relaxing. So it kind of took the tension of the day or the night of police work away as soon as I roasted. So it's a hobby that just kind of gradually, organically grew, and over time I was able to switch to my day job. Midday job.
Midday job, because you don't come.
I'm a 10 to 2 person for productivity, so technically I could not be hired by another company.
Yes.
That's it. I got 10 to 2. It's just, I got to make this work,
Hey, and you are.
Yeah, so far, so good.
So tell us a little bit about Dublin Roasters.
Yeah, so the name, yes, I did find out later, Ancestry.com, that I was indeed like 65% Irish, which is great because I'm Dublin Roasters Coffee, being an Irish coffee shop. So that's how the name was formed. I realized I was making income while I was selling some of my coffee, and I had to pay taxes. So thus the company was born in 2000 so I could pay taxes. And I didn't know how much longer the company would go. I never planned to open a coffee shop or anything. It just kind of happened. It was a next step, a next level. And when I surrounded myself with really cool people, positive people, and that's just kind of how Dublin was born, really. It just kept growing leaps and bounds as I threw more energy and effort at it, and it just has grown over the years.
Absolutely. To an amazing brick and mortar space.
Yes.
That's running out of space.
Yes, we're so running out of space. And we're going to go in the back a little bit and show you how our Civets air roaster works, which is very different from a lot of roasters. That kind of set us apart from other roasters. And also, going to the farms, I really got attached to that aspect early on. I wanted to know where the beans came from. Where are they growing? Who's growing them? So I made a couple trips, fun ones, of course, first to like Mexico, and then I graduated up to Peru and started going places where other coffee people were not going. Really seeking out different kinds of beans that I would read about, trying to find them. In Ecuador, I was trying to find, Robin Hood had a special bean area, and I was able to track it down through the city. So that was just a blast. And then bringing the green beans here to Frederick and letting everybody taste them and experience some other part of the world has just like been my favorite part of this.
Now you said green bean. Is that different than a typical coffee bean, or is that before you roast it?
These are all good questions. I can't wait to show you. So coffee grows on trees.
Yeah.
And they're in the little cherry form. Oh, well, sort of.
Okay.
I wish there were some pictures in here, but I think they've all been purchased. These are pictures in this room are all our coffee trips around the world, which is kind of cool. I think there's one way over there. Those are the cherries over there. I can't see them. So they grow to cherries, and then when you harvest them, they are a bright red burgundy color, and they're hand-picked. And I spent a week in Colombia doing that recently, hand-picking the beans, and I was not very good at it, but it's a challenge, you're reaching out picking them. So once you pick the cherries, they're hulled so that the pulp is taken off of them. And what's left when they're drying is it looks literally a green bean. It's hard as a rock, really no principles of food until you actually roast them.
That's so
So
interesting.
yeah, they start off green. So we get them in these big bags, and I'll show you, big 130 pound, 150 pound bags, burlap, that are sealed and dried for like 17 to 20 days. It's a big process of 6 months to grow, probably a year to get to the point where you can grow them. 6 months you harvest them, then you dry them 17 days, package them, send them back. So coffee it does not just show up in your mug. It takes a while.
Years.
Yeah, it takes a while to get here. So, and my way is to just help, whoever asks, to just kind of educate in the way that, hey, your dollars really do affect families, small families around the world that are really making a difference. They're creating a sustainable environment for not only themselves and the earth and the gardens, but the people. They're making sure that they can, afford to make a living, to take care of the kids, to keep them in school and not necessarily have them working. Healthcare, even retirement benefits for people picking the beans. So that's where I want to put my dollar. So I'm happy to say that I think the community trusts me, that when I go out and I say, oh, hey, this bag of beans from Colombia, this is where this is from. And these folks have a retirement program. They're not just going to be left homeless when they're done. So those are the people that I want to support. And I hope by giving that education to Frederick and beyond, we ship beyond, that, it really matters and it really helps another community.
And I can see that wanting to build community and connect with people is such a big part of who you are as a person and Dublin Roaster, right? Even down to where you source the beans, which is absolutely phenomenal. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you build community?
Yeah. So from the heart of it, of course, it is sourcing the beans, because that's pretty much what keeps us in business. But aside from that, surrounding yourself with all the good people, like I was saying, to include staff. Staff is where it starts. So I try to build our staff based on, this is going to sound really funny, I want you to be able to manage yourself, because I do not want to manage you. I am not a micromanager. It's the worst part of the job. So I like to hire people that I enjoy, one, spending time with, and two, that everybody else likes spending time with. If you're going to get somebody in here that is, not a people person, or it doesn't mean that you have to be extroverted. You can be introverted. I'm introverted. So it just means that you have like a respect for other people. You don't even have to know barista skills. So that's how I put the basis of our community together. Just more working together. It's very family oriented. We have 25 people, and just really help each other out. Make sure that, and that I think conveys, customers feel that when they come in. And it creates kind of a safe space, but you got to start right at the core, and it works its way out. We don't have any tolerance for, bad behavior or negativity or anything like that. So I think the staff and the customers know that I would definitely eliminate that problem if it ever walks through the door.
So people feel safe coming to you, because at the core of everyone that works here and the core of you is that people care.
Yeah, I think that's the feeling and the message. It's become more of a community center that sells coffee and other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you haven't actually come to Dublin Roasters to check out the space, you really should.
You should. See Absolutely. We're open 7 days a week, so that's helpful, but only till 3. Because we like our time.
Yeah, and honestly, you're the 10 to 2 person.
We are 10 to 2, so I'm an hour and a past my bedtime. No. We decided 3 o'clock closing, because that is just like one decent sized shift for people, and we can have more of almost a full-time environment where people have a set schedule. And 3 o'clock is great, because you can still, help if you have kids, get them off the bus or get them to activities. Or if you're, not into kid mode, you can at least, have dinner with your people, your family. So it's a good time. 3 o'clock seems to be a good closing out.
That's beautiful to know behind that. It's because you care about your employees, having that work-life balance.
Yeah. I don't think it's always taken into account, what people like to do other things outside of work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a fun space to be in, but...
yeah. It also, and still vibing with the community aspect of it, when we close at 3, we do rent the cafe out. You can have the whole cafe if you have a book club or a meeting after hours. If you're a non-profit, I tend to just not bill you for the after hours. It just, depends on what you're giving back to the community. If it seems like we're in alignment, then, I let that happen. So it's a community space. It's kind of like my clubhouse is your clubhouse. And it's a decent amount of money. And plus it also, offers, if you want a barista, I can hire our staff at like almost double the price so that it's worth their while. So we have a lot of events after hours.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So using the space when you're not.
Barista?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
We've got a couple
so.
Baby showers coming up on the weekends after hours, and they choose to hire a barista, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so I know you kind of touched upon this before, but why choose local? Why choose Dublin Roasters?
Yeah. Well, it's that local. I think it's been said before, but just to remind you that like your dollars are going someplace. If you're buying the coffee, it's helping people around the world, and also it's helping people that live here in the community to have jobs. It's really I try to put my money where my mouth is. So I only buy Market Street Frederick for Christmas, for birthdays, for holidays. I'll buy stuff in here, actually. I'm like, oh, this would be a great, Dad's Day gift, Mother's Day gifts, teachers' appreciation. It just, the dollars stay in the community and they really help. It's not being sent abroad, it just stays here. And the more we can sustain, the more we can put back in the community. And we have 25 people that live here, are paying taxes, and buying downtown as well. So, it's very helpful.
And I noticed when you walk into Dublin Roaster, there's a bunch of different kiosks and I would imagine small local artists as well.
Yeah, the artists. I think I also pulled that. My mom was an artist growing up, and I think I have a connection to the arts community. I don't actually have any skills. I couldn't even stick draw, or my mug would look like, I don't know, a terrible ashtray that your mother just says, oh, that's so nice. So I have no artistic ability, but I feel very comfortable with the arts. So everybody that comes in, and it's a good business adventure too, because we don't pay for those items outright. They're consignments. So people bring their arts, and when they sell, we get a commission, and they get, the ability to sell their art. It's a neat marketing tool too. So we market their products, and it goes to their pages and so on, just the way social media is supposed to work. So it just pulls our reach further into the community.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I know caring for the community is a big part of Dublin Roaster. How have you partnered with Hartley House before?
Oh yes, Hartley House. Well, we've done a lot of different things. I realized early on, I wished I had done a few things differently, but when you're starting out, in a cafe or whatever, your profit margin is pretty minimal when you're starting. So the way I handled marketing was to give donations. So if you folks had a meeting, I would provide you with a couple of carafes of coffee for free, and that kind of spread the word and the goodwill. I didn't have the dollars to, pay for ads or newspaper things, so I wished I had done a little bit more marketing with money, but I didn't have that, so we can't go back. But after we received our first Best of Frederick Award, and I got that free marketing dollars, value whatever, $5,000 or whatever, I saw the benefit of giving money and cash and things like that really goes out in the community. That's great. But the feel good of the actual donation, I stopped tracking donations. It's just whatever. It felt good to give back into the community, and Hartley House was one that was just, it felt close to my heart. I felt like they were really making a difference. So I just kind of kept up with that. And I think I realized how much that donation aspect really meant to the community during COVID, when I received letters and emails, support, gift cards saying, you don't know what you did, this is what you did, and specifically, and I had a lot of people from Hartley House reach out, and anonymously say, this changed my life, this donation did this, and I was just acutely aware of just like what one person can do, but then when you include the community, how much that really meant to everybody. So that was part of how I said, okay, let's go further. Let's have a bag of coffee with your logo on it and message. Put that in the community, and people will buy that, especially when they know $4 of every bag is going directly to Hartley House.
Which is a very significant amount,
Yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah. And for me, of course it helped our reach to people, but really it just made us feel really good, honestly, to help others. So then, the bag of coffee, terrific, but we went forward with having a latte also, a latte named after, whatever you wanted to call it, but we picked we have 5 specialty lattes every month that stay for the month.
Have one.
Ta-da! And, another idea was, we have more people buying drinks every day. If they, I forget if it was like a caramel vanilla latte or something.
It was delicious, I remember that.
Yeah, thank you. So we picked, the 5 lattes are really popular, and we try to vary it. One is, maybe a flower essence, maybe a chocolate, maybe a caramel. So we picked a popular one, and we put it on our latte board. And who wouldn't want to order it? And $1 per drink is going to the organization. So you might get a couple $100 a month, because we have a lot of people coming through every day, fortunately. That part was born too. So we just keep thinking up ideas to have fundraisers that, help the organization, bring awareness, and also help us out.
Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and the story of Dublin Roasters.
Sure.
Now we're going to go back and see behind the scenes of Serina roasting some coffee beans.
We're going to roast some coffee. What you're going to do, we're going to
take this.
We're going to take the scoop, and we're going to fill it to this line right here, approximately.
These are precious goods.
Precious goods. So when I was saying, these are hand-picked, think about this. Each one of these is one of these cherries picked off a tree, like this, on the side of a mountain, higher elevation. The climate is different. It's probably hot, humid, rainy. It rains every day. So each one of these somebody hand-picked. So yeah, we take it to, we try not to spill at all. But no pressure. There's no pressure here.
No,
there's a lot of pressure.
I don't want to spill any. I don't want to spill not even one bean.
It's
now
crazy.
that I know how much time goes into one espresso drink.
Right. It's, once people know, you can't unsee that.
And now,
it's very precious. And something else I realized when visiting these farms, it energizes me to see that they are as passionate about coffee and growing it as I am about the whole roasting and selling and brewing it. So when you put those two, powers and passions together, it's like, wow, you just get energized for the next year. It's crazy. All right, that looks look at that. That is perfect. All right, so then we're gonna come over here. I won't make you do the back breaking. I'm gonna put it in the air roaster. All right, so that is one, but we're gonna do
Sorry.
two.
I switched on you. Oh.
So we need to do another one.
Okay.
And then once we get this filled up, because we're going to do 33 pounds at a time, it takes like 14 or 15 minutes to roast. But we'll put another one in there, and then we're going to drop it into the main chamber, and you'll see how that works. So I do have a great staff, and a couple in particular to mention is that I work with the Ark of Frederick, and we have 4 or 5 people that work from the Ark in different capacities. And one guy, his name is Adam. He is miraculous. He is like a giant teddy bear, and he picks these bags up and just throws them on his shoulder. And so he helps us load them in when we get an order. He literally will just show up. He's also our delivery driver. So that's another way I love working with the Ark, community living. Oh, look, you got it again. Cool. All right, so this is the part where we're gonna open this up and the beans are gonna drop here, so you'll see this in here. It's a little darker right now. So they're all just loading into the machine. Now it looks like, I'm a terrible housekeeper, but this really is the outer coating of the bean when it's cooking. It kind of shuts off the actual bean, and they clump up. So there they are inside. Okay, so we're gonna start it up. Do you guys want ear protection, or are you good?
How loud is it?
It's loudish. If you had an Apple Watch, it would say, "Hey, maybe you should step away." I'm a little deaf from canine, so talking in my ear. So I'm like, I'm done. All right, there we go. So what happens is, first the air starts. It takes a few seconds, but then that flame is going to come out of that bin. It'll be a shock. So okay, so right over there in that open part, now the gas is going to start so we can cook. It really is going to happen. This process, so once the beans are cooled, and it takes a couple days for them to really settle down after this process, so we do sometimes have to bag them up and send them out, but that's even better for the wholesale client. It's good for weeks and weeks and weeks after this process, especially if they're left in the bean. When you grind it, that really starts the process of losing its flavor or getting a little acidic the longer it sits on the shelf. So you want to get it the first month, definitely. But in Colombia, they have a different idea. Like a couple months, 3 months, they're even drinking it out, and they think it even tastes better. Like it ages.
Like a wine or a cheese.
Yeah. So after a while, you can taste more of the elements of the land, fruit trees or shade or volcanic soil, water amounts. So yeah, the longer it kind of sits and settles, you can taste more. And the lighter roast too, you can taste more. So from here, we actually come over here and we'll, find out what our orders are for the day, bag it up. These are all the beans. I also have different bags that people can select, all different colors and styles. We also print our own labels and work with Minuteman locally to have the labels printed. So these are all our flavors, and then we put them in these bags just because it's got some syrups on them. We use 1 pound of coffee, 1 tablespoon of syrup, and it's hand mixed. And then we put them in these bags, so we have all the ingredients. These are generally what we're selling on a daily basis. We just kind of do these alphabetically. But these are craft paper bags and they're recyclable. And what I like about these, I kind of have shown customers that when they get a bag, like they get espresso, you can write notes on the bag. What you liked about it, what you want darker, you want lighter. So when they come in, they can actually talk to their staff, say, this is what I thought about this. And then the staff can say, oh, I think you need to do such and such based on what they found about your beans. So it's very hands-on, user-friendly, customer service oriented. So.
I do that with all the tickets.
That's like Shazam. I know what that is.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get you your coffee.
So thank you so much, Serina, for being here, for shooting the video, for allowing us to go behind the scenes and kind of see.
I'm so glad you guys came out and did this with me. Thank you.
So appreciate everything that you do, not only for the Dublin community, but also for the Frederick community and beyond.
Thank you. And thank you for, all of you doing what you do to help people in our community. It's like such a must. We're lucky.
We're lucky to have you.
This is a luck fest, a love fest.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, appreciate it. Go to Dublin Roasters if you haven't been, or if you have, come back.
Yes, please.
and if you ever see Serina, stop by and say hello.
Yes, please do that. I always like a new visitor. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye for now.